figured this. We touched on this briefly during one of them, but I think this needs a little deeper dive here because look at this thing. This is something that someone brought to Indy's attention. Unfortunately, the way it came about is she thought it came from me, and the person was immediately blocked. That she's just sort of got a hair trigger with anything, anything where I might be involved. So, so I guess to an extent, I think apparently I'm living rent free in her head there for a while, which is partially mission accomplished. I'm trying to plant some seeds to make her think twice before doing anything. But the way this is phrased, I think this is actually from a professional in the field. In fact, I would like to know who wrote it. That's what I like. I'd like to talk to whoever did this. But the way they, and at the very end, it is, I've got to get to that. Right, let's just start off here. And someone just brought up, just found this about you, bro. Interested to see what people think. And, and it just starts off here, From a psychological perspective, and based on all the information presented to date on her social media and live broadcasts, I would never say live broadcasts, I say live streams because I'm a YouTuber. This person is not. She is not undergoing a gender transition. She is experiencing significant personal insecurity, possibly combined with depression and low self-esteem. It is completely understandable, and it should not be mocked. I am not mocking anything. I'll poke fun at her, but it's, I poke fun at anybody. But I'm taking this very seriously, in the fact that, no, there's stuff being not addressed here, okay? And this, this is confirmation from my point of view that I'm on the right track here. That someone, I have no idea who saw this thing and pretty much came to the same conclusions here. So, I'll consider this verification. It is indeed a consequence of over a decade living in one of the most aggressive industries out there, pornography. For more than a decade, she has been portrayed as the dumb blonde, the bimbo, the one who does what her master commands, the one abused by your stepbrother, or some fictional character in a video. She has received thousands of comments from men all over the world, calling her derogatory names such as bitch, whore, and any other similar term. This has taken a toll on her mental well-being. And she refers to herself as a whore. Well, she does say there's stuff out there going when she was underage. So I'm assuming bikini shots. I'm like to think she didn't put any nude stuff up when she was underage, but not smart enough for that, hopefully. She has been surrounded by the idea that men are dominant and women are submissive for over a decade. This belief has now transformed into the belief that if I become a man, I will be stronger, dominant, and respected. She is so confused in this aspect that many of us can remember. She mentioned that she would continue making videos as a she, showing her breasts, etc., but they would be less frequent. Now she mentions she is considering surgery to have them removed, influenced by the persistent requests from her followers who want to continue seeing that old type of content. She is making decisions based on the response from her audience rather than what she may truly be feeling. And, and I think there is an element of, say, oh yeah, and that's why I pushed that doctor. See, it's like, do I need to back off a little bit here and just let the seeds, take plant, or it's a weird thing. I do know this about her, get that typical Irish bullheadedness going there, and they'll do it just to spite us, and then And she's monetizing all that. It's a reality show that will hurt her a lot. Losing their breast is a highly traumatic experience for a woman, and if she makes that decision solely based on the influence of her social media, she could be making a decision from what she won't ever recover. I don't think she realized. She hates her breasts right there, but I don't think she appreciates what's going to happen if they're gone. Phantom breast pain is a frequent thing I've heard a lot. And also coupled with the fact that when they take it out, they do serious damage to the nerve endings in there. So it's like not only phantom breast, but also just numbness. You feel and you can't feel anything. It's like a pretty heavy toll to say, "Oh yeah, watch me," because she said in chat, if she wasn't such a pussy, she'd have cut him off herself. Again, anxiety is your friend in that case. Don't do it. It's wrong. It appears that with each passing day, her decisions seem to be driven by the desire to teach a lesson to transphobes and misogynistic men in general, rather than being solely focused on a genuine gender transition. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff where it seems like trying to stick it to me and other but all the other who are far more idiotic in their personality. Like, you're not a boy, you're a girl, and also following up with threatening to do all kinds of nasty, violent things to her. Look back at what I do not do that. Even in the DMs, I was like, no, there's no threat of anything. I'm trying to point her to a way out of this. An alternative that instead of just alternate. Boy, no. Hey, look. Like, one, let's get off the labels. Let's just worry about being you, whatever you want to call yourself. Just that's what I'm not trying to. No, don't do that. No. Your biological sex is a very real thing. There's no getting away from it. Okay. And I'm trying to try and figure out how to live with this, so we're not chopping ourselves up here. All right. It is indeed a recommendation from a psychologist, and I'm assuming that's you talking to for that if she truly wants to transition, to consider completely withdrawing from all social media platforms, that would include Orange YouTube and Fansly, for at least 6 months to a year, and attending gender-affirming therapy. In therapy, she can receive guidance and undergo an assessment to determine if her desire to transition is genuine, or if it may be influenced by severe insecurity, depression, or any other psychological disorder. That is where I differ a little bit. The way the laws are going, especially West Coast, Seattle, California, it is now becoming not just it's not only being heavily stressed with peer pressure within the community that if you don't affirm your transition, you're going to be driven out of things. It's becoming law in some cases, where it's like you must affirm their or you're going to be you're losing your license and other. And a lot of therapists are just getting out of the industry completely. They're like, screw it, I can't do my job with this crap. I'm out. So that is a case of be very careful. In this situation, you want to. I would get the hell out of Washington, get the hell out of Seattle, and get somewhere where they actually still think for everything. Because if you're going where it's just everyone's putting that same screwed up playbook, you're going to get the same screwed up results, and you're not going to get anywhere. Additionally, gender-affirming therapy can provide support in navigating the emotional challenges associated with undergoing surgery to remove breasts and undergoing hormonal treatments as part of the transition process. That's one thing. She will not be doing hormones because she doesn't want to deal with a body hair, doesn't want to screw up her voice, likes her features the way it is. It's like, and that's what it's like, when we finish this. It is crucial for her to have the comprehensive understanding of the physical, emotional, and psychological aspects of transitioning before making any irreversible decisions. That's what I've been saying. Don't do anything you can't back off of. Otherwise, this TV drama reality that she's doing will end very bad for her. Now, again, I take this as confirmation that I've been on the right track on this. And the way it's phrased, I think this is from an actual psychologist who was looking at this and. Like I've been saying, take this to your therapist. See what okay. Basically, it's been taken to a psychotherapist, and guess what? I was right. Or at least I got some confirmation that I'm probably right. Okay. And again, I know you shoot back. I've always felt that. Like, no, it just seems that way because whatever happened so damn young. You barely remember it as it is, but something happened. This is not just normal come out of, innate. Like the actual trans people I've come across are Buck Angel, Blair White, Kim Cadigan, Marcus over the offensive tranny thing. They did not suffer any major trauma to start this. This is where there was something screwed. And they freely admit, no, it is a story. And they still have this dysphoria. The procedures they went through was to help to easier live with it, but they admit they're still got the dysphoria and genuine gender dysphoria. It's not a matter, Let me rephrase. It's like I said, I've told her a few times in various things. Just because you hate your tits does not make you a boy. The same thing I told my kids. No, you were not trans. You just had a shitty childhood. I mean, in these kids, this was a horrible childhood. People should have been brought up on charges and drawn and quartered right in front of the courthouse. But in Indy's case, it seems like her childhood was fine, but there's a few key moments of total disaster, which happens to most people. It probably happened to me, but I'm so clueless as far as that goes. It's like whatever. I think my amygdala's gone to sleep half the time. But it's like on the one hand, it's like, okay, puberty was hell. Find me a girl where puberty wasn't hell. I mean, it's like every female puberty is a pain in the ass, no matter, because you're totally physically transforming. It's like, and guys, we don't go through that. So yeah, I see the appeal on that front. Most guys, in their 50s will still be amused by the same thing they're amused at when they're 10. Dropping cherry bombs in a bottle in a oil can full of water and watching them blow up. They'll get just as big a kick out of that as they do when you're in fourth grade. We don't really mature. Okay? We learn to be, responsible adults at some point, but as far as actual maturity, no, not really. I mean, I just finished up a round of Fortnite, for God's sake. The reason I'm playing some Genshin right now is because it tends to crash the system. Like Fortnite does enough of it. I do a Genshin, I'm pretty guaranteed I got to do a complete control delete, whole 9 yards to reboot the damn thing because it locks up somebody trying to get out of it. It plays nice. Okay, I wouldn't mind, hooking up with Indy on a game one time. She, when things settle to slightly more friendly levels, if ever. But for now, it's like I'm stuck at third level, so I'm not sure that work anyway. But that's off in the weeds. Listen, I've been pushing the EMDR, therapy. Some illusions issues. Tried it, didn't work. Well, guess what? Try it again. You're not, something's not. You need to crack that nut. I don't know what's going on in this session where it gets through and you chicken out and back out of it or whatever. But it's like this needs to be resolved one way or another. If it's not that, then something else. Find a gypsy and go, hypnosis or whatever, But the bottom line is, this whole path that she's followed from there and pushed along, but like got set down when she was like maybe 3 years old. I don't know what the hell happened. It could have been something totally innocuous. She walked in, her parents doing it, and saw the tits flopping around, and oh my god! And then get 2 years old, doesn't know what's going on. Everything is traumatic. Okay. The dog bark, that's major trauma. And again, the amygdala does not discriminate. Trauma is trauma, The car backfiring or, someone actually holding a gun to your face, your brain's going to react the same, especially if you don't have the tools equipped to deal with what you're facing. So, she's following the path laid down when she was a little kid, reinforced by traumatic, traumatic puberty, and also, also encouraged along when you chopping the tits off her Barbie dolls, and nobody stopped her. And I thought, why are you doing this? And letting her do it. I don't know. And God knows what else happened along the way, but they just keep pushing her on this line here. And again, apparently there was, some unwanted sexual activity there. That, probably helps along with the fact that she's the girl with the tits. It's like, and again, you got to look in the context of, other little kids are little shits, okay? Girls especially, they, vicious. And the girl who gets her breast sooner than anybody else, oh fuck her, it's a war, It may be nice to your face, but then once your back is turned, here goes the knife, And you can't get away with baggy clothes if you're in ballet class or gymnastics or cheerleading. They're there. And all the boys say, "Hi, Angie." What I mean, it's like, boys who couldn't give two shits about her last year. Suddenly it's like, hi, And the old thing of snapping the back of her bra strap. That's a howler for some boys. So yeah, yes. Again, this is one of the cases of where, as much as guys can intellectually understand what it's like, we don't know what it's like. I mean, and plus the physical changes, not just the tits, but also all the downworks, start coming in online. With guys, it's okay, we can do something now, but it doesn't reduce cramps. We don't bleed for a week every month on schedule. We don't have different hormones raising because different responses. We get more aggressive and horny and stuff, and don't even know what we're doing. It's like guys are clueless going through puberty. It's like, this is fun. We're big dopes, and we stay that way. And again, girls are just like, it's hell. I understand that, but I can't know it and no man can. That's part of some other half of the thing. Guys who think they're suddenly girls. No, you don't. You're an idiot. It's insulting that every female ever walked the face of the earth to even assume you're a girl. Okay? Or And going back to Blair and Kim, it's like, yeah, they'll freely admit, no, they don't know what it's like. They never had a period. They don't really know what it's like, but their own personal experience, they couldn't go on being as a guy either. But they will also freely admit they're not actual biological women. They'll be upfront. Now Kim's, punching down. I think she's just shit posting on Twitter more than anything, but that's another issue. Well, yeah, I'm seeing this thing, and the two separate sources come to the same conclusion. I think that's pretty damn good, and this one apparently is a professional in the field. So, again, your mileage may vary. Take it as you will. Make of it what you will. But, and again, I'm not trying to talk. I don't give a rat's ass what Indy calls herself. Okay. And yes, she's gonna take horrible offense that I keep using female pronouns. Well, sorry. Okay. The gal at the pet stop, he kept calling you ma'am. Guess what? You don't pass. Hoodie, basketball shorts, hood, hat, pulled down. You still come off as a girl. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell you think being a guy is, but you ain't it. And you ain't getting there. Okay. It could be something as simple as just, pheromones where we don't even consciously say, but it just sets off, okay, that's a girl, that's about, instinctively know who's who, I mean, you got to go, I guess some very heavy hormonal treatments to switch that thing off, but it's like, you're just going around yourself, sorry. You don't pass, you're not going to pass. It's like, let's get off this train here and figure out something else. Okay? Again, what set me off is when we start talking about the top surgery. Whoa, wait a minute. He's like, let's not start chopping off body parts here. Because, breasts, it's... The primary purpose is, producing milk for young offspring, but it's also a lot of lymph nodes in there, so you lose them, and you're compromising your immune system. So that and it does throw off the the muscle system there if it's not there. So yeah, there are after effects of top surgery. And the hysterectomy, it's like that's where you get the real, bang for your buck, because now suddenly the hormonal thing is gone, so you got to put on hormones in order to keep from strange things happening to you. and also the internal structural support. The bladder's gonna start trying to fall out. You know, it's you're pulling out the work, and it's just it's a domino effect from that point on. How many health effects you got? The uterus itself is not just there; it does have other effects of maintaining certain things. I mean, the human body is an integrated system. You start pulling parts off, and it fucks up everything. So don't, unless you absolutely. That's why mastectomies really should be unless you're at unless you have breast cancer or have an extremely high risk of breast cancer. Don't even go there. Okay, it's not worth it. It's like you're better off just keep binding for God's sakes. Okay. And a brief on our little dating application, for a boy. It's a joke. No, she's not going to pull anyone from that list and date anybody. But the thing, all interested in, if you're into dudes, it's like okay. Being a dude, knowing the dude mindset, even though I'm not gay. I have gay friends, and I know the male mind still operates the same way, even if it's gay or straight. They're gonna want a functional dick, biological functional penis. They're not into pussies. Tits are completely optional. They don't get me. There's plenty of flat-chested chicks around. Okay, we don't care. Most part, okay. Straight guys don't get the big ones are nice in some cases, but it's not a big whoop. It's a bonus. But down below, it's like if there's a pussy, guess what? You're not gonna get any gay any guys who are into guys because they don't want a pussy. If they want a pussy, they wouldn't be gay. It's as simple as that. And yes, we are that hardwired. And you'll get a very rude awakening if somebody actually thinks you're a guy, just a little twink, and get home and out for the pants. And what the fuck is this? I think where the hell? No, it'll get ugly real quick. And again, it's like some gay guys don't handle these kind of surprises well, and it could get violent. Don't, please, for the love of God, really think this. And I know their usual, oh yes, Queen, you're such a masculine. Bull! People don't know what masculine is, for God's sake. What the hell's going on with this world? Here's where I do feel freaking old. People, kids are freaking nuts. But I was going to wonder what the. I mean, I think a lot of it is just playing along. Yeah, you're so masculine. Yes, they're saying whatever, When in their heart they know this is also play acting. I mean, a lot of it's for the show. They're gonna. It is a TV reality show right there, and we get the vote in the audience, and we're gonna see what happens next. And I'm trying to remember, it's like there's a real human being at the other end of this thing. And nobody's in a position to pick up, they're not going to be around to pick up the pieces, when this all goes sideways. Which it will at this rate. And, and on a more pragmatic view, when the way the cultural backlash is brewing up here, kids are openly now defying being taught this stuff. It's like, for some reason, a math teacher thought it was important to run some film about gay. Kids are, now, but why are you showing this to kids? And they're threatening with, Saturday school for next. I don't know. Sign me up. Just get me out of this damn thing. It's like, what this got to do with math? Another one, they're making you need to sharpen the rainbow. And I would have been one of them in black. Okay. No, I don't like dress codes anyway. That's one part of the reason why I'm not working right now. I'm not going to dress up with that. Tearing down the pride pictures and the posters and everything. Oh, screw you. We're not playing your stupid games. It is now counterculture to be straight. That's a note. If you got corporate support and government, you're not counterculture. You're the establishment. You're the target. But it's gonna, But state after state is now banning this stuff. Europe has already said no. We are putting a stop to this because there is no evidence pointing that this helps. A lot of evidence piling up that it hurts badly. Clinics getting shut down and sued because of what they've done to some of these kids. But the good old US of A, there's money to be made in those double mastectomies. That's why the medical profession is going whole hog. Oh, yeah, sure. They get serious bank on this thing, just as they got serious bank back in the 40s on lobotomies. Oh, it's the cure for it. It'll calm you right down. Yeah, it turns you into a fucking vegetable. A lot of people got hurt, and a lot of therapists and doctors and professionals got rich on this sort of thing. And they, suckered in, the Kennedys, lobotomized their daughter. They've dedicated the Special Olympics to, she was development. No, she was probably just bipolar, which, they didn't know at the time, but she would, do some rather inappropriate things, and she was rambunctious, but, lots of fun. But then they lobotomized her, turned her into a walking rutabaga. Then Joe and Rose are, smoking a turd in hell for that one. So the whole thing, anybody says, the science is settled. Science is never settled. That's how science works. It's never settled. You're always asking questions. You always see what's next over there. Wait, let's figure out were we sure about this, or what about this over here? It's never settled. The second someone says it's settled, they're planning something. They're trying to push an agenda, and it says it's settled. But it's like, no, okay. Like I said, I would like to know who it is who wrote this thing. If you're watching this, please let me know. I'm not going to publicize your name, but I just like to know what is your background. Maybe we could talk about this a little bit. Because I didn't ask for a diagnosis before when I was asking the one doctor, because I was asking for advice of how to proceed in this whole thing. And again, it's my own dumb fault for not realizing. The second you send this thing, you're going to notify Indy this too. That was dumb. What I should have done was, put a link to just straight to the YouTube page and skip the profile entirely. But live and learn. But it's like, and I'm sure Indy's gonna, they'll come back to it at some point. Look, if you're doing this, trying, oh yeah, watch this, then you're not doing for a good reason. I don't care what it is. And if you're making, irreversible, health choices, lobbing off perfectly healthy body parts over what it really amounts to is a personality, issue. And one of your, multiple, mental issues that you're always going on about. It's like, you are in no position to be making these decisions, okay? I don't care if you're of legal age. Your mental stability is by your own admission compromised. Okay? And if your therapist are playing along with this whole thing, then I think something's wrong with your therapist, okay? And if you're defying your therapist, maybe you want to listen to them once in a while. But if they're playing along, it's okay. Something, they're having to make boat payments here. They're playing along. They're milking that insurance money for all it's worth. Hard to tell. It's Seattle, but And also, if you haven't reported that idiot who doxed you, report him. Because you think you've blocked thing. There's a couple of videos you can see what's across the street, and the trees and everything down, and That's it. Expect a birthday card, okay? And you better thank God I'm not the creepy stalker you think I am, okay? Because there's also a couple of apartments on your floor that are coming up next month. So I might edit that out. I might not. I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk later.
That's all, folks.